bridge standards have marched on from this. Those are railroad tracks, so yeah, I really can't see anything past like 1960s or maybe 70s where that would be allowed.
All right, folks, welcome to the video. Today we're going to be taking a look at some old footage I had from the old pedestrian bridge that was in Tulsa on the west side of the river. And I always like looking back at, older footage and how things were. And this bridge was old. It was kind of dilapidated in 2018-19 when I was filming this. I used to come to this area. I used to cycle over here in like 2015. Now, the water levels are normally not that high. There was a flood in like 2018 or 19 when I was filming this. But again, this bridge, like for a while, it was in rough shape and you could still walk across it. And then they kind of like blocked it off when it was deemed kind of unsafe. But there was railroad tracks that went across the top of the bridge. But overall, this was still a nice area, but it just reflect older times because there weren't like as many safety measures in place. You had a little lookout here. And as you can see in this part of the video, it was blocked off, so you couldn't walk across at this point. But in the past, you could. And this is kind of the structure of things. But we'll go ahead and hop into it. Like I said, a little bit later, you'll see the little lookout that they had. And you can kind of see what the dam looked like before it was redone for all the new amenities we have now. So
I came to the west side of the river and just walked around a bit. Now previously you could not see across to the street so well because there were trees and the bank wasn't as cut off and defined. But they kind of did that for the gathering place. So, but anyway, if you can see over there, those are actually stairs right there where you can walk down and sit on the edge of the bank. You can't now because it's closed off. As you can see, the water was hitting this thing before. So, probably not super safe being up here. So I won't be up here very long. The wood, it's a little soaked, but this platform right here, worst case scenario, you fall in, you roll on your back till you hit that area. But, yeah, and that's Highway 244. So yeah, I think there's been some construction done here, but here's your view from the top. There's that Space Needle apartment complex.
all right, folks, and welcome to some other footage from the west side of the river. So Riverside Drive and just all the parks and trails around the river have changed so much. And I've lived in Tulsa quite a long time. So this, I don't even remember what this looked like before this was here, but I know it's not here anymore. So this is an area, a little jut or whatever you want to call it, jutted island, where people used to come out here. You would see sometimes homeless people out here, people fishing, but it was a nice area to walk in, and they created this little cove here. I don't think it was there before. It's really hard for me to remember like the 2000s, the early 2000s, just because things change so much and you really don't recognize the changes immediately. But anyway, it was a nice area just to walk and chill. And, when you're in between bodies of water, there's always a nice little breeze coming through here. And so you could sit out here. I've seen people sit and, read books and things like that. So just wanted to kind of show you what things look like. Again, this was probably an interim stage of this area, but cool nonetheless.
It's nice. I'll probably cap it here. But yeah, you can kind of see that bridge doesn't look that great. It's right there. We can kind of zoom in there, but I'll show you a view from the bridge. Oh, look at at that duck. I think male ducks are one of the most handsome creatures in all of creation or nature. Female ducks, not so much, but that is probably one of the most beautiful creatures God's ever created. Just, I mean, yeah, very classy coat. I think they're great. I'm not gonna walk to the edge just because it looks the same, but you know, here's a look from the cove. You know.
All right, guys. And one other thing I'd like to point out is that, like, it's always interesting to look back at who and how you were in a specific time or season in your life. So when I would film this, I mean, obviously phones were not what they were. Like, this is like 2018, 19. So this might have been an 8 Plus or iPhone 7 Plus, but I would film and like I would do the 2x zoom and forget I had it on 2x zoom. And then I filmed 60 frames a second, very shaky, stepping over rocks and things like that. When now I'm not a videographer by any means, but you know, now I'll make sure to stop and pop and kind of more slowly pan. But in these days, I was just filming as my head would turn and like I was just watching it with my eyes. So there's no jitter or stutter or stammer with my eyes. So I would just swing the phone around wildly. But you get the gist. So let's get back into it.
Here's a view from here. Not the best look. I mean, since this is man-made, they could probably develop it a little more to make it more picturesque. But, you know, in the summertime, it would be. Maybe, possibly. But I'll take you to that pedestrian bridge.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another area on the west side of the river. And we're going to go ahead and wrap things up over here. Back in like 2015 and 19, this was like a great area that I loved. I used to come over here and just reflect, walk, jog, you know, cycle, that kind of thing. And I felt like it had less traffic. I don't even know if it's open now because it's been under construction for so long, but I highly recommend coming over here and just enjoying nature. Again, I apologize for the shaky camera work, but thank you for watching. I will see you all in the next video.
Walk another half mile. I haven't eaten very much today, and so but yeah, here's that construction going on.